Mr. Poirot! Mr. Poirot, come quickly! There is a problem! Mr. Poirot, please wake up!
What time is it?
Please get dressed quickly and meet me in cabin 202 across the passage.
Yes, very well. I'm coming. Why have I slept so late?
My trusty notebook. Hopefully home to the only mystery I will encounter on the Nile. My own. A longtime friend and companion, my mustache curling iron. What gentleman goes anywhere without his comb? Indispensable for styling my exceptional mustache. The temple of Abu Simbel calls to me. The secrets of the pharaohs are buried in these books.
Sorry, sir. The captain has ordered that no one is to go up or down. I don't understand what's happening, but he's in quite a state.
I really don't feel well. It's more than just simple fatigue.
Ah, finally, Mr. Poirot.
Captain, Dr. Bessner.
Monsieur Poirot, thank God you're here.
Well, gentlemen, what has happened?
I think it best if you see for yourself.
Oh no, poor child. Poirot, this is your fault. Mrs. Doyle had many valuable jewels. Flexible contact lenses. Madame Doyle was on the cutting edge of ocular technology. Now there's a perfume not just anyone can afford. And she doesn't have only one. Here's a second, just as expensive. Well, and a third perfume. Clues of good taste, but not motives for murder. Every time I saw Mrs. Doyle, she was wearing this nail varnish. fashion. Why call a nail varnish pink when it's red? Ah, a case where Mrs. Doyle undoubtedly kept her necklace empty. The murder weapon is not helpfully lying on the dressing table. No trace of the weapon. There's blood on one of her fingers. Obviously, she wasn't wearing her necklace to sleep. No signs of a struggle or bruising on the body. The letter J is drawn in blood. Small caliber bullet fired at very close range, judging by the burn marks. I have it. Mrs. Doyle favored an expensive pearl necklace. Excellent detective work. Naturally. That's logical. This letter in blood, the blood on Mrs. Doyle's finger, it's obviously meant to appear Mrs. Doyle wrote the letter J. Excellent detective work. Naturally. Bravo. It's obvious Mrs. Doyle was asleep when she was killed. So it was impossible for her to write the clue so convenient. Hasty, Poirot. I don't think I've discovered everything of interest here. There's no question. Mrs. Doyle was murdered. Who is the world's greatest detective? I don't think I can learn any more here at present. Time to compare my observations with those of Dr. Bessner.
So, did you see? Did you see that poor young woman?
It's a tragedy, but we must stay calm if we want to find the culprit. I have a small idea of the situation. Lynette Doyle was killed in her sleep by a firearm placed directly against her temple. I also noticed that her pearl necklace was missing, perhaps taken by the killer, but it's too early to assert that.
And the J written in her own blood. Do you think she was trying to identify her killer? Given her animosity, Jacqueline de Belfort would seem like the obvious choice. What do you think?
My friend, once the Earth was thought to be flat, that was the obvious choice at the time. You think perhaps it was Mrs. Doyle with the fatal wound to her head who wrote the initial of her attacker? Impossible. And even if she had wanted to provoke me, Mr. Belfort is surely not foolish enough to sign her crime in this manner. This killer mocks us. Dr. Bessner, were you able to examine the body?
Yes, the captain summoned me the moment he was informed of the tragedy. He hoped I could save poor Mrs. Doyle. Unfortunately, it was already too late. Death had occurred several hours ago.
Do you have any idea of the exact time?
I can give you a rough estimate. It's now 9:15 a.m. Considering the temperature last night and the fact that the rigor had begun to advance, I would estimate the time of death to be at least 7 hours ago, and at most 9 hours.
Which places the crime between midnight and 2 in the morning?
Exactly. I can also tell you the wound suggests she was killed with a small caliber weapon, possibly a .22.
I see. Did you discover the body, Captain?
No, it was Louise Bourget, Mrs. Doyle's maid. She came to wake her employer, as she does every morning. Except this time, well, the poor woman didn't wake up. Louise came to find me immediately. She was completely distraught.
Do you know if she touched anything in this room?
She assured me she touched nothing. Neither did I.
So that means, most likely, the murderer took the weapon with them.
And that's how I ended up here.
You have been having quite the adventure, mademoiselle. You track a murderer who may be on this boat?
The coded message mentioned a killer who would be present on the Karnak from the 21st to the 23rd of February. Those are the dates of this cruise, are they not?
That's correct, mademoiselle.
Perfect. Then there's still time to stop them before they strike again.
Perhaps you could have stopped them if you had arrived a day earlier.
What? No! Someone else is dead?
Yes. Lynette Doyle was killed last night. A gunshot to the head. Your quarry may be responsible for her death as well. A connection between the two eludes me at present.
The prey I'm tracking is a lone wolf.
This is awful. The Egyptian police have been contacted concerning Mrs. Doyle. We are turning the ship around and will meet the police in Aswan. Mr. Poirot, unless the authorities say otherwise, the case is yours. I give you full authority to lead the investigation. I've already asked Tarek to guard the gangway. No one may board or disembark until further notice.
I accept, Captain Hassan. But we cannot leave until I make certain the crime scene, in fact, the entire boat, are fully inspected.
Of course, of course. We will remain here until you are satisfied with your investigation. I will inform the Aswan police.
Monsieur Poirot, with all due respect, you must let me help you. I need to stop my killer.
Mademoiselle, remember, I saw you in action at Chematant. I would be foolish to deprive myself of your help. But a word of caution, if I may. It is clear this investigation is very personal. Do not let that cloud your judgment.
Don't worry, Mr. Poirot. Together, we can bring an entire boatload of murderers to justice.
I have no doubt. Very well. Most passengers should be having breakfast by now. Captain, would you be so kind as to ask the other passengers to join us in the restaurant?
Anything you wish, Monsieur Poirot. Perhaps Miss Royce could assist me?
Of course.
I must go to the restaurant to speak to the passengers. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to disrupt what promised to be a beautiful day, but I have some terrible news. Lynette Doyle was found dead this morning, murdered in her bed.
My God! The poor child.
Captain Hassan here has asked me to investigate this murder. I intend to do so with the assistance of Miss Jane Royce, a private detective who has come aboard working on another case. The murder weapon was a .22 caliber revolver. She will be searching each and every one of you for the gun and anything else which might be relevant to this case. I trust you will comply.
Do you recognize her? She's the mysterious friend of Mrs. Leach, who showed up at the party in Mallorca and then just left without a word.
Thank you, Mr. Poirot. I'm now going to search each of you. Meanwhile, the captain will confiscate your keys and lock your cabins. You will not have access to your cabins until we've concluded our searches.
A moment, please. I'm deeply distressed by Mrs. Doyle's death, but as her legal representative, I demand to know by what authority you intend to conduct this investigation.
I agree. This is outrageous. The Egyptian police should be notified.
I, for one, will never submit to depriving individuals of rights that I do not recognize as legitimate.
Miss Robson, would you kindly join us?
Can you show us your bag, please? Thank you.
Mr. Richetti, if you would, please. Et voilà. Thank you all for participating. You may expect me to interrogate each of you.
Since nothing conclusive was found, you're free to go. But you may not return to your cabins or attempt to leave the boat.
Captain, a word if I may. I asked you to ensure that every passenger joins us here, but I didn't see Mr. Doyle, Mr. Belfort, Dr. Bessner, or Miss Bowers.
My apologies, Mr. Poirot. With all that's going on, I forgot to tell you. Dr. Bessner is tending to Mr. Doyle's wound. As for Miss Bowers, she's watching over Miss de Belfort, who is in quite a state.
For what reason? Has she said anything to you?
It's a bit complicated. I think you should see for yourself.
Mr. Poirot, I know you'll want to question the passengers since you know them better than I do. While you do that, I can search their cabins. The captain gave me a master key, so I don't have to try and figure out what key goes with which cabin. Would that work?
Quite right, Miss Royce. You have read my mind. So, Mademoiselle Royce, let's split our resources as we planned. You take responsibility for searching the passengers' cabins.
All right. And you conduct your interviews, you do so well. You still look shaken by last night's events.
Yes, I'm not used to this much stress. Who could be?
Are you handling the service all by yourself?
With Tarek watching the gangway, unfortunately, I have little choice.
You don't seem like the river cruise type.
Is there a type? I suppose there is. I've always been an outsider. I am who I am, and I am perfectly content to be who I am.
Excuse me, Tarek. I wanted to thank you for letting me speak to the captain this morning.
Ah, Miss Royce, I'm sorry for making you wait on the dock. I could do nothing until the captain arrived. Those were my orders.
Please don't let me interrupt you. Pretend I'm not here.
As you wish. He'll take just as long to set up his shots. I could read a book waiting.
I was unaware you could read.
No regrets about not visiting Abu Simbel?
Oh, I thought I knew the temple like the back of my hand, until I heard of Monsieur Poirot's discoveries. But the village nearby was still worth a visit. I hope you get the chance to see it someday.
This would be Monsieur Ferguson's untidy stateroom. A box locked by an elaborate mechanism. It appears Mr. Ferguson has something to hide. It's a fine signet ring, considering its owner loathes all forms of wealth. This is the cabin of Guido Richetti. A code. Mr. Richetti doesn't want anyone going through his things. They look like pieces of a puzzle. There must be a reason Mr. Richetti has saved them. The shapes drawn on Richetti's papers seem to match the shapes on this globe. Let's see if we can find a match. A list of deliveries. Some are crossed out, others not. This cabin is not occupied. There's nothing of interest here. This cabin is not occupied. There's nothing of interest here. This cabin is occupied by Louise Bourget. A few francs. Hardly enough for a trip like this one. A pair of scissors. Could be handy. The young Cornelia Robson is staying here. Wow, that pocket watch is gorgeous. I didn't think Miss Robson owned anything that expensive.